In the intricate dance of modern romance, one of the most agonizing and universal dilemmas is deciphering whether a man is genuinely attracted to you or if he is simply being polite. Because societal norms place a high value on charm, courtesy, and friendly banter, the lines between platonic kindness and romantic intent have become incredibly blurred. It is easy to find yourself overanalyzing a late-night text, a prolonged handshake, or a warm compliment, wondering if it signifies a burning desire for a deeper connection or just standard social etiquette. This ambiguity often leaves women feeling stuck in an exhausting cycle of mixed signals, hesitant to make a move or invest, emotionally out of fear of misreading the situation and facing awkward rejection. However, behavioral psychology and evolutionary biology reveal that human attraction is incredibly difficult to mask. No matter how smooth, reserved, or traditionally polite a man attempts to be, his subconscious mind will always betray his true feelings through subtle behavioral shifts. When a man harbors romantic interest, his brain chemistry alters his priority levels, his focus, and his physical reactions around you. He stops treating you like a standard member of his social circle and begins carving out a completely unique, elevated space for you in his life. The secret to uncovering his true intentions lies not in what he explicitly says, but in decoding the high-stakes, instinctual cues that a man only exhibits when he is actively pursuing or falling for a woman. To bridge this gap of uncertainty, you must look beyond the surface level of basic manners. A polite man will offer you a warm smile, open a door for you, or ask how your day was, because that is what good behavior dictates. But a man who wants you will go entirely out of his way to close the physical distance, protect your emotional well-being, hyper-analyze your conversations, and seek your ultimate validation. He shifts from a state of relaxed friendliness to a state of heightened emotional investment, where the stakes are suddenly incredibly high for him. By learning to identify these precise psychological shifts, you can completely eliminate the guesswork from your love life. The following 12 undeniable signs are rooted deeply in behavioral science, designed to help you look past the mask of casual politeness and see exactly where you stand in his heart. The extended gaze when you look away. A man who is genuinely interested in you will visually anchor himself to you in a way that goes far beyond polite social etiquette. While a polite person maintains comfortable eye contact during a conversation, someone harboring deeper feelings will linger. They will watch you when they think you aren't paying attention, capturing your expressions and movements. When you catch them looking, they might quickly glance away or offer a subtle, self-conscious smile. This extended gaze is an involuntary, physiological response driven by fascination and attraction. It signals that you are the focal point of the room to them, drawing their attention like a magnet. This behavior isn't about being friendly. It is a subconscious manifestation of desire and intense curiosity, a silent giveaway that they are emotionally invested in you and are analyzing your every move to see if you might return the feelings. Subtle physical proximity exploitation. When a man is highly attracted to you, he will subconsciously look for any excuse to close the physical gap between you. This goes far beyond the standard boundaries of being polite or conversational. If you are standing in a group, he will naturally gravitate toward your side, positioning his body closer to yours than anyone else's. If you are seated at a table, he might lean forward significantly when you speak, narrowing the distance to create a private, intimate bubble within a crowded room. He will choose the seat next to you over an empty one across the room, and he will frequently find reasons to walk beside you. This spatial positioning is an evolutionary comfort-seeking behavior. By constantly entering your personal space, he is testing your comfort levels while satisfying his own subconscious urge to be near the person who commands his absolute focus and affection. Remembering the micro details of your conversations. A polite acquaintance listens to respond, but a man who is deeply invested listens to absorb and retain every single detail. If he consistently recalls the smallest, most trivial things you mentioned weeks ago, such as your favorite childhood pet's name, a specific coffee preference, or a random passing comment about a stressful project, it is a massive indicator of genuine attraction. This hyper-retention happens because his brain prioritizes your words, filing them away as crucial information. He isn't just trying to be a good listener, he is building a mental blueprint of your personality, likes, and dislikes. When he brings up these micro details later, it proves that you have his undivided attention and that he genuinely cares about your inner world. This level of cognitive effort is rarely wasted on someone a man views as just a casual friend or a polite acquaintance. The hero instinct protective reflex. The hero instinct is a powerful psychological trigger in men that manifests as a primal urge to protect, provide for, and be appreciated by the woman they desire. When a man is not just being nice, this reflex kicks into high gear around you. You will notice him stepping in to guide you safely through a crowded street, offering his jacket the second the temperature drops, or volunteering to fix something for you without being asked. He fiercely guards your emotional well-being too, showing intense concern if you look stressed or unhappy. While polite men offer basic manners, a man with deeper feelings reacts with an instinctual, urgent, protective drive. He wants to prove his reliability and strength to you, signaling that he is willing to go out of his way to ensure your safety and comfort because you hold a position of extreme value in his life. Hyper-responsiveness to your messages. In today's digital world, response time is a direct metric of priority, and a man who wants you will make you his ultimate priority. If he is hyper-responsive to your text messages, calls, or social media interactions, he is actively signaling his high interest. A polite friend will reply whenever it is convenient, often hours or days later. However, a man who is fighting deeper feelings will consistently respond within minutes, giving you detailed, engaging answers rather than dry, one-word text wars. He will rarely leave you hanging, and if he does get busy, he will proactively explain why he was away. This rapid-fire communication shows that his phone is essentially a direct line to you, and he eagerly anticipates your notifications. By eliminating delays, he is trying to keep the conversational momentum alive, proving that interacting with you is the highlight of his day. Consistent, accidental touches. A man who is deeply drawn to you will frequently seek out subtle, seemingly accidental physical contact. Unlike standard polite interactions, which respect strict personal boundaries, his hands will find excuses to touch yours while passing an object, or his shoulder will gently brush against yours while walking. He might briefly place a hand on the small of your back to guide you through a doorway or linger just a second too long during a casual hug. These touches are deliberate yet disguised, serving as a subconscious test to see how you respond to his physical presence. If he is just being nice, he will actively avoid breaking your personal bubble to keep things professional or platonic. When he constantly initiates these brief, electric moments of contact, it is a clear sign that his body language is overriding his politeness, revealing a deeper craving for physical closeness and connection. Differentiation. How he treats you versus others. To decode a man's true intentions, you must observe how he interacts with the rest of the world. Compared to how he interacts with you, a naturally polite or charismatic man will be warm, helpful, and engaging with everyone in the room. However, if he has developed genuine feelings for you, his entire demeanor will shift the moment you enter his space. His voice tone might soften. His attention will pivot entirely to you, and he will suddenly become much more attentive, protective, or even slightly nervous. While he might joke around carelessly with his friends, he will handle you with an extra layer of care and respect. This distinct contrast, known as psychological differentiation, proves that you do not belong in the standard friendship category. He is carving out a completely unique, elevated space for you in his life, treating you as a priority rather than just another person in his social circle. Anxious body language, cues only in your presence. Politeness is relaxed, practiced, and comfortable, but genuine romantic attraction triggers a subtle evolutionary stress response. If a man is harboring intense feelings for you, his body language will often give away his internal nervousness. You might notice him fidgeting with his clothing, adjusting his watch, fixing his hair, or nervously touching his neck and face whenever you get close. His posture might stiffen slightly as he tries to present his best self, or he might fumble over his words and laugh a little too easily at your jokes. These anxious micro-movements happen because the stakes are incredibly high for him. He cares immensely about the impression he is making on you. A man who is simply being friendly has nothing to lose, so he will remain completely calm and composed. If he acts like a schoolboy with a crush, his nervous energy is screaming that he wants you, creating one-on-one isolation opportunities. When a man views you purely as a friend, he is perfectly content hanging out in large group settings and will rarely try to alter the dynamic. However, a man who is romantically interested will actively look for ways to isolate you from the crowd so he can have your undivided attention. He will suggest stepping outside for fresh air, offer to walk you to your car, or propose grabbing a coffee just the two of you before a group meeting. If you are at a noisy party, he will guide you to a quieter corner to continue a conversation. This behavior is a strategic move to eliminate external distractions and rival suitors. By steering you into one-on-one scenarios, he is trying to build a private intimacy and see how you interact with him without the safety net of a group, showing that he wants a real relationship, not just a casual friendship. The deep mirroring of your posture and expressions. Mirroring is a deeply ingrained, subconscious human behavior that happens when two people share a powerful emotional sync. When a man is highly attracted to you, he will involuntarily copy your physical actions, gestures, and speech patterns. If you lean back in your chair, cross your legs, or take a sip of your drink, you will notice him doing the exact same thing moments later. If you smile broadly or use specific hand movements while explaining a story, his expressions will shift to match yours perfectly. This mirroring effect is the brain's way of saying, I am just like you, and I want to connect with you. It builds instant rapport and comfort on a biological level. A man who is merely being polite or professional will maintain his own independent body language, but a man who is emotionally captivated will naturally tune his body to match yours, seeking your validation and approval first. When a man is emotionally invested in you, your opinion becomes the ultimate benchmark for his self-esteem. In a group setting, if he tells a joke or shares an accomplishment, watch where his eyes dart first. He will immediately look at you to gauge your reaction. He cares immensely about whether you think he is funny, smart, or successful. He might ask for your direct advice on major life decisions, career moves, or even his style choices, genuinely weighting your input above everyone else's. While a polite friend might make casual conversation about his life, a man who wants you is actively looking for your green light. He wants to know that you approve of who he is as a person. This constant need for your validation is a clear sign that he is trying to see if he measures up to your standards and if there is a potential future for him by your side. Defending your reputation when you're not around. True loyalty shows itself in absence, and a man who has deep feelings for you will act as your fiercest protector, even when you aren't there to see it. If anyone speaks lightly of you, misunderstands your intentions, or criticizes you in a group, he will immediately step in to correct them, defend your honor, and reframe the narrative in your favor. A polite acquaintance or casual friend will usually remain silent to avoid social awkwardness or stay out of drama, but a man who values you deeply will not tolerate seeing your name tarnished. He feels an instinctual urge to guard your reputation because he views you as an extension of his own world. This unwavering loyalty behind closed doors is a massive indicator that his feelings are rooted in deep respect and affection, proving his intentions go far beyond superficial, face-to-face friendliness. Jealousy, micro-expressions. When other men are mentioned, no matter how polite or composed a man tries to be, jealousy is an incredibly difficult emotion to hide completely. When you bring up another man, whether it's a male co-worker, a casual friend, or a date, watch his face closely for micro-expressions. You might notice a brief tightening of his jaw, a sudden stiffening of his posture, a momentary break in his smile, or a quick change in his vocal tone. He might try to change the subject abruptly. Ask probing questions to figure out your relationship with that person, or become uncharacteristically quiet. A guy who is just being friendly will genuinely root for your dating life and listen to these stories with relaxed, platonic enthusiasm. If he struggles to stay cheerful or looks visibly uncomfortable, when another male enters the conversation, it's because he views them as direct competition for your affection. Investing casual effort into changing his appearance for you. Men are highly visual creatures, but they also become hyper-aware of their own appearance. When they are trying to impress a specific woman, if you notice that he suddenly starts dressing sharper, wearing a premium cologne, styling his hair differently, or hitting the gym harder whenever he knows he will see you, it is absolutely not a coincidence. He might even subconsciously bring up these changes, asking if you like his new shirt or if you notice his new haircut. This investment of time and energy is a classic courtship behavior designed to catch your eye and elevate his attractiveness in your eyes. A man who is just being nice or views you purely as a platonic buddy will show up looking completely casual, indifferent to how you perceive his physical presentation, because he has no romantic stakes in the relationship. The shift from superficial chat to vulnerable disclosure. The definitive boundary between politeness and romantic interest lies in the depth of communication. A polite man keeps conversations safe, predictable, and light, focusing on the weather, sports, or work. However, a man who is falling for you will actively steer the conversation toward deeper emotional waters. He will share his personal fears, childhood memories, future ambitions, and secret insecurities that he rarely reveals to the world. By opening his vault to you, he is building a bridge of deep, emotional intimacy and testing whether you will meet him there. He wants you to see the real, unpolished version of him because he trusts you with his vulnerability. This level of transparency is emotionally risky for men, and they only invest it in women they see as incredibly special and potentially a permanent fixture in their lives.